Hi, Anson Garcia here, and this is not my typical video. I usually do IT style videos, but I thought I'd throw this out there on my channel because I found something that I didn't see on YouTube. So anyway, 2003 Infinity I35, doing the axles and a few other things on this thing. The service manual doesn't make any sense at all. So I don't know what the deal is. I thought I had the wrong vehicle. I made sure to plug the VIN in, but it doesn't show me exactly what to do, especially on the passenger side. A few videos on YouTube that show you a little bit, but they don't show you everything. In fact, some of the people do it differently, but let me take you through the process already. If you're watching this video, you already know this stuff, and I'll run through it very, very quickly. This is the new axles here. The old ones are over there. They were very bad. Inner boot and outer boots were bad on them. Anyway, okay, so here's the sequence. Obviously, take your ABS sensor off, take your tie rod end off, take your axle nut off, then take your strut off. Okay, after you have that off, get your air hammer and knock this thing out. It's gonna almost come out. I mean, you're gonna think you can get it out. You won't be able to get it out. All right, but once you have this backed out, you're gonna have access to this ball joint on your lower control arm here. All right, it's very tight in here when this axle's in the knuckle. But when you have this guy backed out of your hub, you can have access to this guy. Take this guy off, take your pin, take your axle nut off, and then your whole knuckle, right, is going to be able to come off. Your whole knuckle and hub is going to come off. Here it is there. That's what it looks like. All right, now that you have that, now you think this thing is going to come out, but it's not because there's a carrier bearing right in here, and this is kind of the booger right here. So here's the carrier bearing. There's 3 bolts. There's one. You can probably see the other one right there somewhere, right in there, and there's one on top. This one's easy peasy. All right, this thing splits and that lets the carrier bearing come out. So this is the hard part right here. Your axle actually goes all the way over here into the transmission. So a stubby ratchet wrench, you can get this guy off, or a long, doesn't matter. Also can get this guy off. Take this this oil cooler line, there's a little bracket right here, take that off, you'll be able to get to that one. The top one's a booger. All right, you can get to it. You're blinded, but you can get to it with a stubby ratcheting wrench. All right, a box end closed ratcheting wrench. Okay, you get that top one off. You'll know what I'm talking about if you're doing this job. Let's just go over here real quick. This is easy peasy. On this side, new axle's already on. Already got my hub on and everything. This is your normal kind of deal. All right, you don't have to take your lower ball joint off over here. Everything's going to get out of the way. You're going to be able to pull that axle, obviously, get it out with air hammer, so on and so forth. That's normal business as usual. Okay, back over here. When you get this guy back in, these bolts are very difficult to get back in there. And this one, easy peasy. That one's a little harder, and the top one's real difficult. Now, what I was able to do, the front one, I was able to get in just with some needle nose, long needle nose, get it up there, put it in. And then the top one and tightening that front one get you a long extension like this. And here we are again. We're looking at the front of the vehicle. If you come in through the transmission side where the axle goes in transmission, if you come in this way, you will be able, you might have to put 2 extensions together, get you a swivel like that. I like these because they swivel just enough. They're not a complete swivel, just a few degrees, and this was perfect for that. And then when you can get over here, let me see if I can stick this guy out so you see it there. See, okay, so you got a 12 on there. These are 12. If you get a 12 on there, especially a deep, then you can get on that bolt, that front one, you can get that one tightened up. And then the top one, you kind of got to feel around, and you can come around this side of on top of the control arm and put your hand in there and kind of feel the hole on top and then you still come over here, you know, with this extension, and you can kind of feel around in there, and you'll get it. Just be patient, don't curse, calm down, and you will get it in there on the top. I wish I could show it. Oh, I could barely see it. Maybe you can see it up there, maybe you can't, but you'll know what I mean. Anyway, that's how you get that guy on. And I saw some videos where people were taking apart this whole bracket. I mean, that is a bear because all the bolts are on top. But anyway, those bolts are difficult. This is the way to do it, and it's fairly easy.